What's up, y'all? It's your girl Brandy from Stay Snatched, and today we're whipping up some Southern collard greens. These are so tender and delicious.
I'm back with another video showing you guys another way to make collard greens. If you've been here before, then you may have seen my Instant Pot collard greens recipe where you can make collard greens in 45 minutes. They do not take you all day. However, this is also another tried and true recipe, another tried and true way of making collard greens. This is actually the way I made collard greens for most of my life. So I have my collard greens here. I actually have two different types of collard greens. Well, they're both collard greens, but they're just two different ways that you can buy them. I will start with showing you guys the traditional way. This is a full collard green with the stem. It's a leafy vegetable, and so this one's really large. So that's one thing. If you're gonna pick out bundles of collard greens, look for really nice leafy collard greens, because this is going to give you so much once you remove the stem. And so the traditional way of this whole process, you go to the store, you get several bundles of greens. And so by bundle, I mean, this is one bundle. This is another bundle. People may call them different things, but depending on the size of your leaves, that's going to determine how many bundles you need and how many people you're trying to feed as well. Typically, I'm serving 6 to 8 people with collard greens, so I'll maybe grab 8 of these just to always be sure that I have enough, because I'm going to say this repeatedly throughout this entire process, greens wilt down. So these look so huge and leafy. Once you get them in the pot and they start to cook, they will just shrivel up so much. And so you never want to go without having enough. Sometimes I feel like my mom would get 10 to 12 bundles. So it really just depends on kind of the size of your greens. And so like I said, look for something that's really leafy. Make sure they're nice and green and not maybe turning yellow. I could see that a couple of these were starting to turn yellow. So what you're going to do to prep these is you remove this stem. And so I typically fold it in half here, remove the stem. I guess I can show you guys that. You want to get as much of the leafiness off there as possible. And then this goes in a pile to discard it. And then you're going to have to wash these really well, because a lot of times you'll still see a little, these actually don't have the debris, but growing up, I used to see like little speckles of dirt inside kind of these veins here. And then also it's been sitting everywhere. You always should wash your produce. What I do is I use just a vegetable wash. I love the one from Trader Joe's. I will soak these and rinse them several times. A lot of people use vinegar to wash their greens. That's also an option. But to keep it real, I've actually gone away from using these most time, and I buy bagged greens. These greens are already picked for you. They're already washed for you. And this brand, this is my first time actually finding this brand at a local grocer. They're already shredded. So the other thing is, to get these all in the pot to fit, I often will pick them, wash them, and then I'll take a sharp knife and shred them into pieces. This is already done for you with these. So this can just go right into the pot. Some people may give them a rinse prior. Choose what you want to do and then do that. But these can go right into the pot, y'all. This will take you all night picking and washing greens and then cooking them on the stove. It's a full day process. And so any shortcut, I'm gonna take it. That's why I also love my Instant Pot version, but we're not here for that version today. We're gonna make these on the stove. And so cooking greens does not require a lot of ingredients. You're gonna need something to season them. I love to use smoked turkey. And so I will grab either a smoked turkey wing or a smoked turkey leg, and it's fully cooked. You don't have to cook it. It's already seasoned. And so most of the flavor of the greens is gonna come from that smoked turkey. A lot of people may use ham hocks, salt pork. You can even use bacon. And so if you want to use bacon, what I recommend is that you cook the bacon in advance, chop it up into bits, get it in a pan, get it cooking, and then leave most of that bacon grease in there and cook your greens in that. remove your cooked bacon from the pot and then add it back once your greens are fully cooked, so that it's still a little bit crunchy once it's done. Or you can just cook it in bacon the entire time, whatever you wish. You can also just use bouillon cubes to flavor this if you're looking for a vegetarian or a vegan option. But smoked turkey is my way to go. This is actually the Fricks brand of turkey wings. And so I go back and forth between using a turkey wing or a turkey leg, because depending on the size of that turkey, the meat can be really big. And so this is kind of a big wing. This wing is 1.5 pounds. Turkey legs can sometimes come all the way out here. Depending on the size of your pot, it may not fit in there. And so I've had that happen to me once, where I had to trim some excess meat. I still put that meat into the pot, but I had to get the turkey leg ready just so that it would fit in my pot, because this thing was long. So be cognizant of that when you're shopping for something that you're going to use to season these greens. Make sure that it'll fit in your pot, or just plan to trim it down to get it to fit in there. And so then I have some chicken broth. We cook these in broth. And then I just season with Creole season. I'm using the Tony Chachery one. You can season these with whatever you like. I know a lot of people also like to add vinegar to their greens, but whatever seasoning you like, I find that this mix produces easy, delicious greens. So now that we've walked through everything you're gonna need, let's go ahead and get started.
So here I have a Dutch oven, and I'm adding in a teaspoon of olive oil along with 1.5 cups of chopped white onions. I'm gonna saute these for a few minutes until they're translucent and fragrant. Then I have 2 minced garlic cloves. Gonna give that a good stir. Then I have 1.5 cups of chicken broth. You can use whatever type of broth you like. And 1 tablespoon of Creole seasoning. And I have 3 pounds of fresh collard greens here. And so then I start to layer in my collard greens. I do 1 batch of the greens, and then I add in my smoked turkey, and then I continue to add the greens in batches. And so I have my heat on medium here, because that heat will help wilt down those greens to get them to fit into the pot. And so I reduced the heat to medium, and I put the lid on the pot, and these are gonna cook for 2 to 3 hours. You wanna just keep checking in on them to make sure that they're tender. Once the greens are tender, you can open up that pot and remove your smoked turkey leg. And if you like to serve your greens with meat, then you just shred that meat off of that turkey leg. It'll shred nice and easy. And then you just add that meat to the pot and give everything a good stir. And there you have it, Southern collard greens.